Hello everyone and welcome back, and welcome to the first day of Invictus 2955. Today we are going to go over, in this video specifically, the store pages for the new Greycat MTC. We're going to go over that and the Q&A, go over the store page for the new Idris-P that has just gone flight ready, and then we are also going to talk about the new flight blades and some bomb racks and things like that that have been put on the pledge store. But you are not able to buy them in game. I have some feelings about that. I'm sure many of you do as well. So we're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and hop straight into it. So we will start today by going over the Greycat MTC sales page. I did pick one of these up so we can look at it in game later today probably, but let's go through the page. So we have this nice cover here. It looks really, really cool. It looks really nice. Let's go through. So the Greycat MTC, the grounded approach. Putting function over form as always, Greycat presents the MTC, your stalwart ally in planet-side operations. With the goal of creating the most dependable four-wheeled soldier in your troop, Greycat has designed the MTC with comprehensive suit and gun storage, defensive weaponry, and its customary off-road ability. You can see they're showing off suits being able to be stored in here. Of course, this feature has not been brought online yet. I think there's a possibility maybe we'll get this sometime this year, maybe later in the year possibly. We'll have to see. We have seen this similar thing working in Squadron, so we'll have to see if we get this year. Next, we have Ready for Everything. Transport your armory. Be ready for engagement at all times with the MTC's comprehensive weapons and armor storage capacity. Get prepared and stay prepared. So, we saw that again already here. You have your storage locker, your weapon racks, and all those things that you need. Next, we have Hold Power. Defend your position. Armed and ready, the MTC's defensive weapons provide robust relief to any mission, ensuring you can push through enemy lines and hold your ground. I believe this is a dual-size 2 remote turret. The pilot can control it, although there is a separate little seat that the person there can control it too. And then there's a little track it'll go up on if the co-pilot or the gunner seat is occupied, and so you can have a little bit better firing arc all around the vehicle. So again, defensive, help you get through positions on the ground and whatnot. We'll have to see if that's actually useful in the future. Maybe you could use it if you do some bunker runs with this, things like that. And Drive Power. Traverse the battleground. The MTC fully embraces Greycat's trademark rugged design. Get to the front lines no matter the distance and no matter the terrain. We've seen, it has these nice tires. You see it going through water here. I've heard mixed reports that ground vehicles explode when going into water, so whether or not you can actually do this, I don't know. But there you go. And then we have some technical specs. So our length is 7 meters, width is 5.5, and height is 2 meters. We have a driver and a gunner as the crew. And again, you have that remote turret with dual size 2 repeaters. You should be able to swap that out though. Cargo, you have 0.5 SCU, and that's going to be at the back of the vehicle. There's a small little deployable, I don't know what you would call it. Not a ramp, a cargo carrier thing. I don't know. But you can put 4 1/8 SCU boxes on there. So that equates to about half an SCU of cargo. And then I think there is also a personal storage locker on the outside, possibly on the inside as well. Not 100% sure on that. Let's see what paints we have. So this is the default paint right here. Let me zoom in a little bit if I can. We have, so again, the factory standard, the Boreal, light gray and gray with orange highlights. So there you go. Kind of a metallic feel to it. Baracus, black with red highlights. That one looks pretty cool. And then we have Brushwood, digital gray and green camo with red highlights. Not bad as well. And Moonstone, metallic blue with gray and black highlights. This paint is a exclusive for the Chairman's Club or if you're concierge. I think this is the one. When I bought it, I got this one just because it was available like that. So kind of, a nice dark metallic blue. I do really like this Baracus one though, the black and the red as well. So if that one's maybe just a couple bucks, I might pick that one up as well. So there are the paint options for it. And then if we go down a little bit further, there is, of course, special offers. So price-wise, it's pretty much what I expected it to be. I think it's a fair price for what it is. So we have Warbond, of course, the concierge one. You get the Moonstone paint with that at $45. Normal Warbond, again, just the standard paint, but $45. And if you're getting it with store credit, you are looking at a $50 price. So again, I think that's pretty good. That's about the same as the Ursa. I think it might actually be about $5 less than the Ursa. So I think reasonable for what the vehicle is. And then if we look down here, we do have some paint packs, a 4 paint pack for Concierge for some of those different options. There's another 3 paint pack with that red one, the orange and silver, and I think the green one, if it comes back around. Yeah, the green kind of digi-camo. Of course, then you can also get all of them separate. So we got $5 for the Boreal, and then $3 for the Baracus and the Brushwood paint. So pretty reasonable prices on those. All right, next we have the Greycat MTC Q&A page. So we'll go over this really quick, see if there's any interesting questions to go over. So let's just get into it. So beyond activities that require converging on a single location, such as Jumptown, where else is this vehicle intended to be deployed? Their answer is, the MTC is a great standalone vehicle with enough utility to support yourself and another player for virtually any ground-based encounter within the Star Citizen universe. So I could see, you could use this at the Hathor sites, drive you around to the different buildings there. You can use it for storage, use it if you're on Aberdeen to cool off, because if you're not in one of the specialized suits for the heat. So, those are some other use cases for it, and I'm sure we'll get more in the future. What are the Greycat MTC's shield and armor specifications? For reference, the Spartan has 2 size 0 shields and strong armor, while the Ursa has 1 size 0 shield. The MTC features a single size 0 shield, which is in line with other vehicles of the same class. Armor-wise, it stands out thanks to its robust durability, as it is intended to serve as the more tactical option within its class. Next, we have how many weapons and armor suits can be stored on board. There are 2 armor suit lockers along with a pair of weapon racks capable of storing a range of small arms from pistols to rifles. There is also a special-sized weapon rack between the armor lockers for weapons such as a railgun. How many SCU of storage does the vehicle have? The MTC is capable of carrying 4 8th SCU boxes for a total of 0.5 SCU. The weapons equipped, the top turret has the remote pair of they say size 1. I'm pretty sure they're size 2. We'll have to double check. Let's see if they talk about if there's anything on what it fits in. Let's see. Who operates the remote turret? The driver has control by default and can fire in a limited arc while driving. However, the rear seat has full remote control of the turret for 360-degree coverage, and that takes priority over the driver. How many people can the vehicle transport? Officially, two players are supported, 1 driver and 1 gunner. Of course, there's definitely plenty of space on the inside of the vehicle that someone could just stand there or crouch or something, and you could definitely bring a couple more people with you. They just won't have an official place to sit or anything like that. Next, we have, what is the vehicle's top speed on flat ground? While the Spartan reaches about 35 meters a second and the Ursa about 40 meters a second, the top speed of the vehicle is recorded at around 35 meters a second, which is about 125 kilometers an hour or 78 miles per hour. That's pretty fast, actually. That's slightly slower compared to other vehicles of a similar class. This is due to its enhanced armor, which increases the vehicle's weight and consequently reduces its straight line speed. How well does the vehicle handle mountainous or rocky terrain? The vehicle's suspension has been precisely tuned, we'll see, to handle rough and hilly terrain. It can easily sustain and perform small jumps downhill at top speed while effectively absorbing impacts. Its skidding tendencies also give drivers plenty of opportunities for impressive maneuvers and drifting, all while maintaining full control of the vehicle. And then what is the intended use for the suit lockers and weapon racks, considering troops in drop seats can already be fully equipped with backpacks, gear, and multiple weapons? While that is currently possible, in the future there will be limitations or penalties to sitting in some seats with certain gear. So this future-proofs the vehicle for those scenarios, as well as providing players options in case the needs of the mission change. Yeah, if you go into a mission where there could be a very hot area, you need a really hot suit, you have that. Then you can have your heavy armor, you can switch out between those. So it will have some utility in those sort of scenarios, sometime in the future. So they've just future-proofed it, so it is ready for that. All right, next we have, is there dedicated ammunition storage on board? No, there is no dedicated ammunition storage, only the external cargo rack and internal personal storage. Okay, well, that works well enough for storing extra ammo and stuff, so I'm fine with that. How far can the vehicle travel on a full fuel tank? At this time, there is no range restriction as ground vehicles do not currently consume fuel. However, this will change in the future. Okay, another little mechanic we'll have to be aware of, so you have to refuel your ground vehicles. But, who knows when we'll see that. Next, we have, will players be able to swap the tires for different types of terrain in the future, like the Ursa variants? This is still planned for the future. Okay, so something you know, maybe a sand planet. Certain tires are better for that, or a icy planet. Other tires are better for that. So, you know, some point in the future, we will probably see that implemented. Next, we have in which ships can the vehicle be transported? This is a big question. If this could be put in like the Zeus or something, that'd be really cool. Let's see what they say. It is very similar in size to the Ursa rover rather than smaller vehicles like the Cyclone. So anything an Ursa fits in should support the MTC. The only exception to this is the constellation Phoenix, which has restricted headroom. So the MTC may struggle to fit aboard. Okay, so anything that can carry the Ursa can fit this. So that's going to be, I think the smallest ship then would be the Freelancer Max that can hold the Ursa. And then beyond that, regular Constellation, and let's see, MSR, Corsair, things like that should be able to hold it. So unfortunately, not the Zeus, not the C1 Spirit, but any of those slightly larger vehicles should be able to hold this. Then why would a player choose to transport infantry in the MTC instead of using a Spartan or an Ursa? The Spartan is a significantly larger vehicle with a greater troop payload, so it is for much larger expeditions or missions. The MTC is more akin to the Ursa and provides an alternative option in stats, handling, and visual appearance. I could see, you know, also potentially you could pair an MTC with an Ursa, so you have some extra weaponry you can bring, but also the Ursa has the extra drop seats, so you can carry a few extra people. So, you know, if there's something that warrants using it in that way in the future, I could see it being used in that capacity. All right, I think we're getting to the end here. So next, how many exits does the vehicle have? It just has the one single side door exit. There's no back ramp or anything. Can the turret elevate enough to engage aircraft, or is it designed specifically to target ground vehicles and infantry? While the turret can raise up, it is not a dedicated anti-aircraft turret, so it's more useful for attacking other ground vehicles and infantry. Okay. And then, are there any medical supplies or other support equipment included? There's no additional medical or specialized support equipment included. I could possibly see them doing a medical version of this vehicle in the future. Just maybe they take out those suit lockers in the back, you know, transform. They probably leave like one weapon rack, but, you know, make a little medical area. I could see that potentially happening. We'll have to see if we get that, though. But I think that is it for the Q&A on the Greycat MTC. There's a lot more questions than I thought there would be on that. So that's going to do it for the MTC for this video. Then let's go over the Idris-P sales page real quick. Alrighty, here we have the Idris-P sales page. It's really nice looking, you know, with the nice view out onto, this is probably Microtech. Nice clouds and all that sort of stuff. So we'll go through it pretty quick here. So, at your command, the Idris Peacekeeper. For the leaders, the virtuous and the truly courageous, the Idris Peacekeeper has arrived. A ship that secured our past and continues to define our future, this steadfast, tactical, civilian class incarnation of the UEEN Darling is available to fly for the first time. Whilst maintaining the same potential for destruction and fighter capacity as its military sister ship, the Idris-M, the newly flyable Idris Peacekeeper combined with the K and T kits allows each crew to completely customize their desired artillery, an incredible accomplishment in tactical ship building. A limited number of Idris frigates are available to Chairman's Club members only. I believe at the bottom of the page here, it'll also show, I think they're having actually 6 waves of sales for this. I did manage to get a Idris-P on the first wave. I decided to get the Warbond one, and then I got the Idris K and T kits, so we'll make sure to go over those, show those off, all the different things you get in that. I picked up some of the paints as well. But yeah, so it's out. It's flight ready. I've already seen like a ton of them around, flying around. Idris-M, Idris-P, the laser. I haven't seen any, I don't think I've seen anyone firing torpedoes from it yet, but we'll definitely be trying all that. And then I think this is the video that they put out yesterday for the little trailer for it, so we won't watch that. Keep going down here. Again, you have the big hangar, hold a bunch of fighters in there. Formidable frigate, carrying the fleet. As a capital class frigate, the Idris-P is an essential ship in any convoy or solo operation. Well, it's not going to be a solo player, at least maybe you could for now, but once we get engineering and stuff, good luck. Able to transport vital fighters plus an Argo MPUV tractor, the Idris can hold whatever space can hold whatever space it's in and bring the fight to your enemy's door. There you go. We have some different concepts, pictures, sort of things. I believe this yellow and blue is the default on the Idris-P, but there are, of course, some other paint options that I think I will be using because this paint kind of looks a little bit ugly to me, personally. Okay, and then also with these other pictures, we have some additional information. So, powerful attack, customizable main weapon. The Idris-P retains the military vessel's chin mount to support your heavy weapon of choice. From the factory, the manual nose turret provides a heavyweight main strike and daunting deterrent. So that is this turret right here. The Idris K kit gives you a missile turret for this, and I believe the T kit gives you a size 7 ballistic turret option for this. So we'll have to see if we can check those out as well. Then we have Extraordinary Defense, full surround artillery, boasting 8 manual turrets and 6 PDCs with mounts for 5 more. The Idris defense capabilities cover all angles of enemy attack, allowing you to stay on mission and never back down. There we go. Then you can tour it. We won't go through all these pictures here, but the Idris is available to tour at the Area 18 tower, so you can go check it out there. I'm sure there are many Idris that will need crew that if you're looking to be on one of those, they would be happy to accept you as well. We have a little technical specification sheet here again. You have the main nose turret that on the P comes default with the dual size 5s. On the M, it would be dual size 7s. But then with the K kit, it gives you a missile turret option. And then the T kit comes with a size 7 ballistic turret option. And then you have an additional 7 turrets that have dual size 5s. I think there's 4 on the top and I want to say 3 on the bottom. Then there's 4 additional remote turrets scattered around the other parts of the ship for extra coverage. Those have dual size 4s. And then you have, by default, 6 size 2 laser repeaters, and there are 5 more PDC hardpoints. I think the K kit comes with more laser repeaters, and the T kit comes with the new missile PDCs, so we'll make sure to try those out and see how those operate. And then if we come down, we have a little bit of a breakdown of the cargo bay. So in total, the Idris-P can carry 1,326 SCU of cargo. In the hangar, you can carry 1,024. You can see here, it looks like they have a lot of 16 SCU containers. I'm not sure if we'll be able to hold 32s in these bays here, so that may be one limiting factor with this that won't make it, a super dedicated cargo hauler or anything. I guess you could throw them on the hangar floor here if you really wanted, so we'll have to see officially on that. And then in the upper cargo bay on B deck, you have a 302 SCU cargo capacity. Looks like you can bring 16 SCU containers up on those cargo elevators that are on either side of the hangar. I think it's back there. And then in the additional small cargo room where the missile bay would be on the Idris M, you have an additional 48 SCU. The only problem with this is it's going to be really, really hard to get anything bigger than probably a 2 SCU box in there, just because you have to take those boxes through the hallway. So in the future, this could be useful for just like general supplies that you'd use on the main deck. Maybe you could have ammunition here. We'll have to see. And then we have paints, of course, for the Idris. So this is going to be your factory standard paint, the yellow and blue. And then if we go here, we have the shark tooth with beige and black with a shark tooth design. I did pick this one up because it looks really cool with that shark mouth at the very front of the hangar. Next, we have the commando camo, green and tan camo. So kind of, nothing too crazy. I don't think I picked this one up. Not my thing, but it looks fine nonetheless. Then we have Beachhead, beige and brown. I think this one's probably my least favorite. There's not really a lot of variation between the color. Like it's just like some of these areas are just a little bit darker shade of brown. So I don't know. Out of all of them, this is my least favorite. I did not pick this one up. Then we have Marauder. This one is only available with the purchase of the Idris K kit. This is black with some red detailing right here. So I do have this one with the Idris K kit. You can see the missile turret there and the laser weapon. And then the last one is the Nightbreak gray camo with red highlights. And this is only available with the purchase of the Idris T kit. This is that gray, some additional kind of brighter red on some areas here compared to the other one. The glass is red, which looks really nice. And you can see here the torpedo launcher and that ballistic size 7 turret. And then, of course, we do have the aftermarket kits. Let me see if I can show you where those are. So Again, right now, this between waves, the Idris is sold out. The Idris K kit War Bond is $250, and the new Idris-T kit is $350. So they are quite expensive. They do come with a lot of options, a lot of items. Let me go. We could probably go through them in a minute here. If you wanted to get it with store credit, you could get the Idris-P has gone up to $1,900. So I think that price has gone up $400 from the last time it was sold, whereas the War Bond option I think has gone up $200, I want to say. So it's a $400 difference between those. And then if you're going to get the K kit with credit, it would be $300, and the Idris-T kit would be $420. So again, quite expensive for what you're getting, but those are those weapon packages that give you additional firepower and things for your Idris. And then last of all, on this page, we have the paints. So it seems like a lot of the paints are either $20 or $25, which is actually, I think that's actually a little bit less than some of the Polaris paints, which is interesting. So it's not terrible in terms of paints. I was not going to be surprised if they made the paints like $50 a pop. So I'm okay with the paint price for these. So you got 25, 20, 25. If you want this pack with them, that is just under $60 for those three combined. But that is all on the Idris-P sales page. Again, I managed to secure one of these, so we are definitely going to do a lot of testing, checking out all the things you can do with it, the new weapons, new stuff with the Idris-T kit, the torpedo module, that ballistic turret. We're going to check out all that sort of stuff. All right, and really quick, I will go over the contents of the Idris K kit. So again, the K kit, you get the Hurston Dynamics Exodus laser beam, that size 10 beam weapon, the Ammon and Reese Harrow anti-ship missile turret, that size 7 missile turret up there. I think it has, I want to say 16 or 32 size 3 missiles. We'll have to double check on that. And then you get 5 Bearing M2C PD point defense systems. Those are the laser repeater version. You can put in those empty point defense repeater slots, and then you also get that Idris Marauder paint. And then with the Idris-T, the new kit, you get the HMF T12 Hammerfall torpedo launcher, the IFR BC7 turret, which is the size 7 ballistic turret right there. And then you get 5 of the Bearing PPB 116 missile PDS turrets, and you get that Idris Nightbreak paint. So some different options for different weapons. Again, we're going to do lots of testing with these. A couple other things to note. There are some new Warbond armor paint offers for the Vanguard series. They come with some armor, a gun, and these paints. So those, I think the armors are available on the show floor you can look at. So they're not, they're cool looking, not really my style. I probably won't pick those up. But if you're interested in the Vanguard or those armors, those are available. They are $30 a piece. And now we get to talk about the elephant in the room, which is the introduction of flight blades and I believe bomb racks as well, but not in the way that I was hoping they would be introduced. So if you have not heard already, I think if I have it open on this page here, flight blades are being offered for sale on the Pledge store, as well as bomb racks. I don't know if I have those anywhere here off the top of my head. We'll have to find those. But we'll look at the flight blades first. So again, they're only available for certain ships at the moment. They did release a post on it on Spectrum this morning. So they're available for the Gladius, the Avenger, the Redeemer, the Scorpius, the MPUV, the Arrow, the Pisces, and the Hammerhead. And then there's a couple FAQ questions they talk about. But the big thing that I want to go over with these is the fact that they are being offered for real money, and you are not able to purchase them with in-game credits at this time. They did, so if we read this line here, it says optimize towards top speed or precision handling for select ships. Flight blades and weapon kits will also be available at the in-game shops for AUEC this summer. So, it's good that they'll be available in a couple of months for in-game money, but I don't entirely agree with them trying to justify that this would be like a similar, like a thing, like ships. New ships come out, they're available on the Pledge store, and then after a time you can get them in game. That I understand, but for like a new component for your ship, I really don't like that very much. And I think it'd be okay if they offered it they could still offer it on the store if you wanted to pledge and support the project, but they also really should just have it available in-game at the exact same time. Because, again, these are things that, while they may not affect your ship's flight characteristics that much at the moment, they still affect it. And, even if they only affect your performance by like 2 to 3%, what's to stop them now if they're going to do this from in the future, offering something else that, makes your ship 10, 20% better, and you have to pay real money for it. So yeah, it kind of seems, to me, it seems a little bit pay to win, even though it's not super significant changes, that, they could introduce something that it has more significant changes to your flight characteristics in the future. So yeah, I'm not a very big fan of it. I might pick up like the credit ones, just to test them out for you guys so you can see how they work. But I'm not going to be spending any real, or any new money on these for sure. So yeah, kind of disappointed on that. And I think they may have also locked some of the new paints, these new really cool looking like black and red paints. I think they're locked behind getting the Flight Blade kit, or at least I haven't seen them separate. Otherwise, maybe that'll change. I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that. I may have got that wrong, but that's just what I've seen so far. But yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments. Do you think it's okay for them to be doing this? What would you prefer them to do? Do you think it'd be okay for them to offer them for, you could pledge them for real money if you want to support the project, but at the same time have them available in game? Do you think that would make it a little bit better if they just changed it to that? Or do you think they just shouldn't be selling these for real money at all? I'd love to hear any thoughts you have on this in the comments below. And a couple other things. So we did see there was the new kit for the Tumbril Nova. There was the new weapon coming with it, the Ballistic Gatling. So that is a little kit you can buy that includes the Ballistic Gatling. It does include this new paint, so the black and red themed paint. And you also get a nice little Invictus hat and t-shirt. So, and that's $15. So that's a lot. That is more reasonable. I can understand that a lot more. I would, again, this is something that, if it's available in game after a time, I'm more okay with that. Similar to the Super Hornet, or the Hornet Heartseeker turret. I don't think that's viable in game yet. I would assume they will make it viable at some point though. So this is more reasonable than the Flight Blade thing. Still not the greatest thing in my opinion. I wish you could just buy it in game straight off, but I do understand this one. And then I think there is a Scorpius turret option. Let me grab that as well. Okay, here's the Scorpius weapon kit. So this is $25. That's a little bit more. That's a little bit more steep. I think it was 15, maybe 20 would be okay. With this, you get the RSI Lisath missile turret. This little thing here for the Scorpius. I think this gives you an additional 16 size 2 missiles, I believe. You get that Nightbreak paint, which it does look really, really nice. And then you also get that hat for Invictus and the t-shirt. And then we also have the bomb racks. So this is just one of them. I think there are some other more expensive ones that give you more of the bomb racks. This is a weapon kit, though, a 2-pack of them. Gives you 2 of the CST-313 Castillo bomb racks. So it says this kit includes 2 size 3 of those bomb racks for a variety of ships, compatible with the Aegis Avenger, the Gladius, the Arrow, the Anvil Hornet Mark I and Mark II, the Banu Defender, the Crusader Mercury, the Drake Buccaneer, Hesperia Talon, Misk Freelancer, Misk Reliant, and the RSI Mantis. And that should allow you to equip, I'm assuming, probably 1 size 3 bomb each, I would think. So that one I really just am so confused by, because like missile racks in game are like a few thousand AUEC, which is basically nothing, and yet here we are, they're charging $20 for 2 bomb racks. So that's another thing that I don't entirely like and agree with. Again, I'll probably just pick this up with store credit just to show you guys how it operates, but I am not going to be spending any new money on this. So yeah, I hope that we get these just added in-game sooner rather than later. Because yeah, I don't think this was the best decision they could have made in regards to monetization. But I think that's all I have to go over for this first video. Again, this is mostly just going over the stuff on the store, that sort of thing. And I'm going to try and go check out the MTC. We're going to go test that out a little bit. Just do a little bit of a look around, and then we'll also check out the Idris-P with the new kits you can get for it, all the new weapons, all those sorts of things. So keep an eye out for some of those videos coming out probably later today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, let me know your thoughts on the things that we talked about in the comments, on the flight blades, on the new ships coming, anything you might want to add and just, have out there for people to discuss. But that's going to do it for this one, and until next time, I will see you in the verse.